for our next performance. Our next performer has been acclaimed as one of the top young magicians working today. At just 22 years old, Elliott Hunter has already headlined nightclubs in Las Vegas, performed regularly at the Magic Castle in Hollywood, and has represented the entire United States on numerous stages internationally. By combining sleight of hand with other dynamic facets of entertainment, Elliott creates an experience more unique than his ginger genetics. Please welcome our presenter, Elliott Hunter.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much everybody for having me today for the TEDx conference. My name is Elliott Hunter, and today I will be speaking to you about how magic and art can connect and communicate with people all over the world. But first, let's start with what I do. Thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. My name is Elliott Hunter, and the purpose of my presentation today is to explain and educate using the show that I've been working on for most of my life. And I can speak highly to your message of interconnection today because it is so important in today's day and age. And magic carries many profound metaphors that are used to pronounce and then share interconnection throughout the world. Like what we're doing right now is simply fascinating to me, how people can be from all over the world, all in one place. You know, I've realized the importance through what we're doing right now in the pandemic this year, how important it is to always see the glass half full. And I thank you all for producing yourselves today. A lot of what we experienced this year involved separation. It felt as if we were being cut apart or torn apart from our friends, our family, and our colleagues. But I'm here to remind you today and use magic as an illustrative tool to show you just how powerful we are as a society to all come back together. It looks something like this. thank you so much for all coming together today to share in what we have prepared for you this afternoon. I'm going to prove to you all right now, hey, I'm on a different camera. I'm lower. This is interesting. I'm going to prove to you all right now how interconnected we all are right now. It's amazing. You know, I was walking downtown in Hollywood, you know, on Sunset Boulevard, where all the characters line up. We have the stars, the Walk of Fame. I looked across the street and I saw something incredible. I saw my doppelganger. I saw someone who looks exactly like me. I had to take a picture with my phone because I knew this wouldn't be anywhere ever. Friends, please welcome to the stage my doppelganger. Okay. Cheap shot. Okay. Well, right now we're all interconnected through online, which is fascinating to me. But when I got to thinking about it, preparing my presentation today, there is one thing that connects everything all over the world more than anything else. And that is the human-made concept of time. Regardless of where you are in the world, different time zone or whatever, 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 second, 1 day will be the exact same length. But what changes is our perception of time. Friends, this next number is about time travel because each and every one of us are going to participate in some time travel right now. What I'd like everybody to do, even those watching after this presentation is aired, take your right hand and put your pointer finger in the air. Yes, everybody do this. I can't see you, but I can know if you're doing it or not. I want everyone to touch my finger on the screen right now. There it is. Oh my gosh, we're all connected right there. We have here a face of a clock. What I'd like everyone to do is to take that right pointer finger again and put it right on the number 12, right at the top. Okay? Everybody do this. As you do that, I want you to think of a random number that you see on the face. Like 1, 2, 3, 11, to any number that you see in front of you. Okay? What you're going to do is make 3 moves. We're going to spell that number. So if I were to select the number 1, I would move like this, O-N-E, and find myself on a new number. If I pick 7, S-E-V-E-N, etc., etc. Everyone start from 12 and spell your unique number now. All right. We are all on a completely different number now. We each selected a number that no one here could know. That was move 1. You are now on a new number, and everyone's on a different number. But I'd like you to do the same thing. Spell the new number you are on. Again, if I did 1 the first time and I landed on 3, I would spell 3, T-H-R-E-E, moving clockwise. Everyone do that now. All right. We are all on another unique new number. That was move 2. We have 1 more move. We are going to repeat that 1 more time. Spell the last number you are on. So again, the first number was, I was now at 3. Now I'll spell the last number. So if I was 7, you get the idea. Everyone spell your last number and keep your finger where it is. All right, keep your finger on the screen. Friends, throughout all of the selection, we each have 3 individual numbers that no one knew. Our perception of time was different. However, we all ended up in the same place. Oh my gosh. That is proof right there, everybody. Proof that no matter where we are in the world, we can be interconnected no matter how we are. And now, there are a lot of metaphors at work in magic, like what you just saw in that last piece. However, I created this next one specifically for my presentation today, because throughout magic, the most profound metaphor is transformation, change. All things change, including and especially ourselves. This next number I call, shamelessly, interconnection, because it's the story of how people from all over the world can connect, come together, and separate in community, friendship, and love. Friends, please join me for my next number called Interconnection. Interconnection. Thank you so much, everybody. People from all over the world coming together and penetrating the impenetrable. That's what we are here to talk about today. However, friends, I am so, frankly, I'm shocked. I've gotten this far in my presentation today, and I haven't even shared with you my origin story. When you watch any film, like Marvel, DC, or maybe not DC, kind of dropping the ball lately. Wonder Woman was good. Any movie character you see always has an origin story. This is mine. I didn't always live here in San Luis Obispo, California. I grew up in a very small island community just north of Seattle, Anacortes, Washington. For those who don't know Anacortes, it's a very small town, only about 16,000 people. The average age is about 70. And the main export is rope. But it's home. It'll always be home. It's where my story began. In fact, at a young age, I would sit on the shores of Elliott Bay, looking out over the water, thinking, whoa, those people named an entire body of water after me. Little did I know that I was named after it. No, but I would sit on the shores looking out over the ocean, watching the grown-ups sail in their sailboats. And then one day I saw a word written on the hull of one of the boats. Hunter. I thought to myself, whoa, those people named their boat after me. Little did I know that I was named after it. Because in 1998, my father purchased his Hunter sailboat from Elliott Bay, and he had a kid. It's me. Now, when I was a kid, when I was 6 years old, the one thing I wanted to do more than anything was sail on the open ocean and start with a remote-controlled sailboat so I could start learning how to sail. Well, I remember for my birthday that day, my father kicked the door down, ran right over to me, ripped me out of bed, and he was holding a package. Oh man, I knew it had to be inside this box. I ripped the paper straight open, cut the tape, ripped the box open to find rope. I was like, thanks for the rope, Dad. He said, no, son, follow that rope. Well, what was tied to the end of that rope that day was something that I will never forget. Finally, I had that remote-controlled sailboat. And the deal was, as soon as I could name each and every part on that boat, like the main, the mast, the jib, the whole, every part of the boat, I could finally begin sailing my own vessel and learning the ropes. Friends, we're getting close to that part in the show where we need to start saying our goodbyes, but I have a few more things I would like to share with you. First off, I'd like to thank all of the wonderful coordinators here at TEDx for putting together our event this afternoon, because how do I start this last piece? We made history this year. You know, the textbook for 2020, 2021 is like this big. No, when things kind of did their thing back in March, as well as hundreds of thousands of other industries, I kind of did my thing with it. I wasn't performing as much. Cal Poly had just gone online. It was a very weird time. But then I got to thinking about it again, about the glass half full concept. That if it had to happen at all, I am so glad it happened this year between 2020 and 2021. This year, when we have the ability to stream video in such high quality, the ability to call people tens of thousands of miles away without long distance charges, right? Like, could you imagine if this happened before like 2004? Like, either someone would have created Zoom overnight, become a very wealthy person, or it would have been a mess, right? And for that, I'm grateful. And it's when I began putting these pieces together that I realized what my purpose truly is as an entertainer. Yes, part of my job is to blow you away with visual spectacle, smoke, mirrors, and music that's too loud. No, my job as an entertainer is to bring people from all over the world back together. You notice how I use a lot of music throughout my show, because music is a universal language. If you can't understand what I'm saying, you can understand the emotional undertones for music, and it's just another way of bridging any cultural gap all over the world. Magic is the same way, how visual it can be. Because, friends, a lot of people thought that because of what's going on in the world right now, the world itself had been torn apart. Hearts broken, families separated, love lost. But then I got to thinking, with the technology we have access to, we can effortlessly communicate with people all over the world. When I do these shows, I've had people call in from Germany, from Spain, from Ireland, from Sweden, from New York City. And in this call right now, we have people calling in from all over the world. And it's when I began putting all these pieces together that I realized that it's my job, my purpose, to bring people from all over the world back together in a sense of community, friendship, and interconnection. Friends, thank you so much for joining us today for this world-class conference and your incredible hosts. At this time, I'm going to pass our show back over to our wonderful MC, Noah, who will take it with our next speaker and a word from our wonderful sponsors. Friends, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Elliott Hunter. Take care, everybody.